telling us that he's our cousin. If you're our uncle, how is it that your brothers are cousin? It doesn't make sense. It's dumb and unnecessary. And why would you perpetuate a lie after the truth has come out? Oh my God. How ridiculous and idiotic is that for one uncle to perpetuate a lie that this individual, our father, is his uncle when he really is his brother, and he called us cousin when we're really his nephews and niece, my sister. And he knows that his brother has already told us the truth about the situation, that he's our uncle. So that means your brother's our uncle too. Why does he keep calling us cousin? It's dumb. So unfortunately, the good uncle has passed away. The dumb one, he's still alive. He probably will still call me cousin next time I see him, and I don't want to hear it. I'm just way too old and way past bullshit to want to hear someone who's my uncle call me cousin because of a lie that his grandparents, my great-grandparents, made when they decided to raise my dad as their child, instead of just telling him, you're our grandchild. We just raised you because your mom just wasn't ready to take care of a kid. It's simple as that. This happens so many times, though, in America, when grandchildren are raised by grandparents, and the grandparents have lied to the kid and said, you're our child. That's unnecessary. Stop it, people. If you're a grandparent, if you're in this situation, tell your grandparents, stop it. This is nonsensical and unnecessary lie. You've loved me and took care of me, and good, thank you. But you don't need to tell me I'm your son when I'm your grandson. That's what I would say to if I found out my mom was actually my grandma, I'd be like, wow. Why'd y'all lie to me all this time? It's completely ridiculous and unnecessary. I love you the same way. I don't need to think you're my mom if you're my grandma. I thought you were kind of old to be my mom, actually. That's what I think I would say. But, this type of thing happens in America all the time. Not only in my family situation where we've got an uncle who lies to us and tells us he's our cousin, which is completely ridiculous and nonsensical, based in ignorance and stupidity. But I've heard other people say the same thing. Oh, yes, my mom and dad raised my nephew as their own, and so now he acts like he thinks he's my cousin when he's really my nephew. I'm thinking, well, as long as he knows the truth, tell him, don't call me cuz, or don't call me, or no, he thinks he's my brother. That's what it was. I had a young lady tell me that her mom and dad raised her nephew like he was her brother. And she told him the truth, which he already knew, but he still was acting like, oh, you're my sister. No, I'm your aunt, dummy. This lie is unnecessary, and I'm just not going to cooperate with it. So, one other person, civil rights activists. Well, actually, there's probably thousands of people who died, but these are people who I know. My uncle, Kelly Preston, the actress, and John Lewis, congressman and civil rights activist, also passed away. So, condolences to the family and friends, because John Lewis affected a lot of people. A lot of people loved the guy, and he is no longer with us in the flesh. John Lewis. He was a congressman. I don't remember what state he's from. Like I said, one of these days I'm going to get a producer on this show to have all this information handy for me and to look up something if I talk about, mention it unexpectedly. have this information ready for you. So, before I talked about these people dying, I was talking about talking a little bit about Texas and Florida and how the coronavirus cases are spiking in Texas and Florida. And we had a number of Fox News hosts, TV show hosts, 2 months ago, praising Texas, praising Florida, and how they showed the rest of the country how to do things during the pandemic. And now those two states are breaking records every day with the new number of new cases of coronavirus. That's how much praise they should get, not the people of Texas or the citizens of Florida. The governors didn't want to shut anything down back when we had our shutdown to try to stop the spread. They was like, oh, no. We ain't shutting down our state's economy. We're going to keep it going strong. Now you got a lot of people dying and the hospitals are packed. So, the coronavirus doesn't care about politics, okay? It's going to spread if you allow it to spread. And it's going to kill if you allow it to kill. So, that's where we are with the pandemic. When we just thought we were getting away from it, and the president is still saying it's magically going to go away. No, it's not, Mr. President. Please stop saying it. Please shut up, sir. With all due respect. It's not going to just go away ever. Okay? It ain't going to go away until they have a vaccine for it. It still probably won't go away. The flu has not gone away. The common cold has not even gone away. These illnesses and sicknesses, these viruses, don't just go away. What we can do as people, as human beings, is get a grip on the viruses. They don't just go away, though. Mr. President. Dumbass. I wanted to talk a little bit about white privilege because these protests that have gone on here recently due to George Floyd's murder on TV and all over the internet sparked a massive protest. And I've heard several people say that either there is no such thing as white privilege or they don't have white privilege. And this is all white people, of course. No black person except maybe Candace Owens, the dumb sellout jackass bitch, would say such a thing that's ridiculous and nonsensical and just stupid. But I will cut white people some slack who say that there's no such thing as white privilege because, of course, there is. But they don't understand what it is. It's because a lot of privileges that you have, it's just everyday stuff that shouldn't be a privilege for white people. It should just be, if it was equality, it would just be something that anyone can do or receive or whatever. But white privilege is anything you can do or you receive that benefits you that I can't do or receive because of the color of my skin. Now, I know that I don't talk like a thug, and I've been told on more than one occasion that I sound white, but that's not true. So if you're listening to this podcast and you think that I'm white, which I can't, I wouldn't, I would not guess that anyone thinks that by listening to this show, especially if you listen to more than one episode. But I've been told I sound white, but I don't believe that to be true. I just think that the people who said it don't understand that they only are saying that because I speak clearly and I use the best grammar that I can muster. Not perfect grammar, but it's good grammar. I don't have a speech impediment, and I've been living in the U.S. my whole life. So to me, I'm not mentally challenged. I know that's debatable at times, but to me, I should speak clearly so you can understand, put words together like Letterman, because I don't have a speech impediment and I'm not mentally challenged. Okay? English is the only language I know. So therefore, I should be able to speak it relatively fluently. I don't sound white. This is just the language. This is how it's supposed to be spoken, and I'm not even perfect. I'm not Bob Costas, who speaks English and has great grammar, or, some of these broadcasters. I'm a big sports fan, so I pay attention to some of these broadcasters, and their grammar is usually pretty good. But anyway, I digress. What I was saying, and I will continue to say right after this break. We'll be right back right after this.
And now, without further ado, the man we've all been waiting for, T-Jam D. Welcome back to the show.
Yes! Welcome back to the show. Now, before we went to that break, I was talking about white privilege, and I was trying to explain, and I'm trying to explain here, what exactly white privilege is. And this is it. Anything a white person can do, or any benefit that they get because they're white, is white privilege. Now, I know some of you don't even pay attention to what that is, but anytime you notice that someone is treating you differently than they're treating a black person, and they have no reason for that, that's white privilege. You don't like it, maybe you don't want to accept it, because a lot of white people just don't want to accept that it exists. But anytime I cannot do something in this country, or I get treated a certain way because of skin color, you're having white privilege. Okay? Some of you don't notice it because you don't know that that's something that someone is doing because you're white. Like they're allowing you to get away with something because you're white, or something like that. But it happens, and that's what white privilege is. Anything that you do or get away with, any benefit you get, or even if it's as simple as the cops not beating you up because you're white. Because sometimes, a white person can get pretty mouthy with the cops, and sometimes they're not going to beat you up because you're white. But a black person can get pretty mouthy with the cops, and they beat you up because they don't want to take that from you. Okay, they'll take you to jail. Okay, they'll say you're resisting arrest, and even though they don't have a reason to arrest you, they're totally confident in taking